What's going on, everyone? So today I want to share with you my top 10 fragrances for men over 40 that are absolutely incredible for this spring and summer. Now, of course, this video is just my opinion, but I really think you guys are going to love everything on today's list. And also, if you have any fragrances that you want to add to this list, please feel free to leave a comment down below so we can get sort of a secondary list going. And also, for your convenience, I'm going to put links to everything that I'm talking about down below in the video description so you can go check all these out on your own. And with that, let's get started. Now, this list is in no particular order, and some of these fragrances are going to be better suited for the daytime, and then some others are better suited for nighttime, and then some are going to work in both. So I will make sure to mention that as we sort of go along. Now, the first fragrance on my list is the new Black Orchid from Tom Ford. So this is the parfum version that came out in, I think, 2020. The previous version was a little bit more floral, but this one has a lot more earthy, woodsy, warm, and spicy notes. Now, there are still a little bit of that floral undertone to this one, but in my opinion, that just makes it more sensual and sexy. I do think this is better suited for evenings because of that sensual vibe that it has, but it can definitely be worn during the daytime as well. I do highly recommend trying to get your hands on this one because it smells expensive and also pretty unique. I also don't think a lot of guys are going to be wearing this one, so that's an opportunity for you to stand out. The next one on my list is Prada Loan. So this is definitely one of my go-to daytime fragrances for spring and summer. It's very fresh and incredibly clean with notes of iris, violet, and geranium, but it also has notes of amber and cedar and sandalwood that make it more masculine. This is very much a fresh and clean fragrance, kind of like you just stepped out of the shower. And the good thing about this is it's available and relatively affordable, of course, compared to a lot of the other expensive colognes. Okay, next on my list is Legend Spirit from Mont Blanc. And if you guys have been around for a while, you know that practically every single fragrance video that I've made includes this one. This is, at least in my opinion, super underrated. This was my everyday fragrance for a bunch of years until recently when it got replaced. And I'll get to that one that replaced this in just a little bit. But this easily takes you from day to night with notes of grapefruit, pink pepper, lavender, white musk, and oak moss. This one is also readily available and it's affordable. And it's just so easy to wear and it's incredibly versatile. I definitely recommend this one. All right, coming in strong with this next one is African Leather by Memo Paris. Now, even though this has leather in the name, I just don't really get that much leather on it. Maybe it's just me, but I'm telling you, this is absolutely incredible. And I think it might be better suited for date night, but of course, you can still wear this during the day as well. This is just a beautiful fragrance, and it sits pretty close to the skin with green floral, fruity, and warm spicy notes to it. Projection, I would say, is pretty high initially, but after maybe 15 minutes or so, as it starts to dry down, it just gets unbelievably good. So I picked up this little sample guy from Amazon, but I'm also getting the big bottle very soon. So I'll go ahead and leave links to the big bottle and the sample down below. All right, jumping back over to Tom Ford, for the next one, we have Effing Fabulous. I don't want to get demonetized for saying the name out loud, but you get the idea. This one is definitely an evening out, date night fragrance and is absolutely amazing. Now, I think this is good year round, but what puts it on this list today are those top notes of lavender. It also has leather, vanilla, and tonka bean and amber, and it's definitely not inexpensive, but this is, I think, one of those fragrances that you'll have in your rotation for quite a while, so that might make it a little more worth the price. The next one on my list is Dylan Blue by Versace. Now, this could easily be an everyday fragrance, but it's very popular. Not quite as popular as like a Dior Savage, but a lot of guys are wearing this one, and for good reason. It's aquatic and fresh with notes of grapefruit, fig leaf, patchouli, and tonka bean, and I would absolutely put this on my daytime list for spring and summer. It's also pretty affordable, so I would highly recommend trying this guy out. And that brings us to Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. And what I've come to realize is that they make this in several different versions. The one I have is the Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. This is incredibly fresh and citrusy and aquatic with notes of grapefruit, mandarin, and juniper, but it also brings a lot of masculinity with rosewood, musk, and also oak moss. So I would recommend this for any daytime activities during the spring and summer. This one is also readily available and pretty affordable. The only downside with this one, at least in my opinion, is longevity. I'm only getting a few hours with this one on my skin, so if you want to bring a small bottle or a little decant and then reapply throughout the day, you'll be good to go. Okay, this next one is one that I'm really excited about because I recently got the full-size bottle, and I'm also kind of afraid to throw the box away because it's absolutely gorgeous. But this is Naxos by Xerjoff. I talked about this one in a video a while ago that I made about fragrances that make you smell expensive. And in that video, I only had a little sample, but I told you I was gonna buy the full-size bottle, and here it is. Every single person that smelled this on me absolutely loves it. So this is the one that replaced Legend Spirit as my daily go-to fragrance. Now this is a very high quality fragrance with notes of bergamot, lemon, lavender, cinnamon, and also a bit of tobacco and vanilla. It lasts a very long time and it sits pretty close to the skin, so it's not gonna be super overpowering. And it works just as well during the daytime as it does during the evening. And it just smells like pure luxury, so I'm so glad I have this in my rotation. Now, this is not inexpensive, but it's not overly expensive either. But I 100% recommend at least getting your nose on this thing and trying it out. Next is Bay 19 from Le Labo. So this one also made the video about smelling expensive, and if you haven't seen that one, I'll link to it down below and also put a link up here as well. Now, I would say this one's better suited for the daytime, but this is incredibly well balanced between like warm woodsy notes and fresh green notes and patchouli. It just smells incredibly high quality and also perfect for spring and summer. All right, coming in next is Creed Aventis. Now, I understand this is a very expensive fragrance and everybody talks about this one. It's very high quality, it's very good, and it works both daytime and nighttime. It has notes of pineapple, apple, patchouli, jasmine, rose, oak moss, and vanilla. It really is a very fantastic fragrance. However, I just bought my second bottle a few weeks ago after finally using up my first bottle, but for whatever reason, this one doesn't seem to have the staying power that my other bottle had. I mean, I could smell my old Aventis on myself the next day, and even on shirts that have been through the wash. It was incredible. But this, for whatever reason, this new bottle doesn't come anywhere close to the performance of that old bottle. So I don't know if any ingredients were changed, but maybe it's just me. But if you know what's going on, please let me know down in the comments. All right, I got a bonus one here because I want to give you an alternative to Creed, and that's Explorer by Mont Blanc. This smells very similar to Aventis at a fraction of the price. Now, this is not an exact copy, but it's very, very close. And I'd say this is better suited for the daytime. Longevity is average, but if you like Aventis, but don't want to spend that kind of money, this is definitely worth checking out. All right, one more bonus for you because I feel like I need to at least mention Dior Savage. Now, this one's good year-round, and it's incredibly popular. It works during the day, and it works during the evening with notes of bergamot, pepper, lavender, and vanilla. There's no doubt this is a very good fragrance. The problem is, it's extremely popular, and if you're paying attention, you'll smell this one out a lot. So I would say that if you want to smell good, because this is absolutely a fragrance that a lot of people like because it smells great, go ahead and pick some up. But if you want to smell a little more unique and maybe a little more interesting, maybe try some of the others on today's list. And just one more thing, if you made it this far, you are definitely one of the true legends. Please subscribe if you're not already, and if you haven't seen this video where I talk about spring style for older guys, it really is worth a few minutes of your time. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, live well, and I'll see you in the next one.